Hello folks, welcome to Just Bird. Today I'm doing a video on selling back books, and the platform that I use is called Sell Back Your Book, and I thought I would explain how I do that and the process, right? Because it is time consuming when you sell back multiple decks or whatnot. And what I have here is a box filled with decks, and that is how I do it. I put together my box first. I purchase smaller boxes, not larger ones, because I'm the one that's doing the packaging and the carrying and the lifting and toting of the boxes. So the smaller the box, the better off for me. These smaller boxes, I believe this is 12 by 6 by 6. They're perfect for Oracle decks, especially Hay House. And I have this one that I have stuffed here. All right, and what I do is I package the decks up first before I even go to the site to make sure that I have the proper packaging and everything is in order, right? And then I go over to Sell Your Book Back, and I look for the number, the ISBN number, which is always located here, and that will tell you, their estimated value of what they're willing to pay you for your deck. Now, I've been sitting on decks for years, and I started this process last year, and it ended quickly and abruptly, and it kind of had the opposite effect, and I went into purchasing mode. So it was like, all right, enough is enough is enough. Now I need to do some spring cleaning and get rid of a whole lot of decks. And what I've learned is that I have a whole lot of decks that I'm either stuck with or having to still get up off of because they aren't worth anything, right? And then any indie decks you cannot utilize Sell Back Your Book for, so I have to find other buyers for those, if any at all, right? And I want to get rid of a lot, so I have I don't know, a shelf, maybe two shelves, bookshelves full of decks that I can't sell back, that are mass market. So I think I will just locally donate them instead of trying to, make a couple of bucks off of eBay or anything like that. I will just box those up and take them down the way to the local, Goodwill or Salvation Army or anything like that, any kind of dinks and dents besides the ones that are like Mennonite or Christian based. I won't drop off these decks there. So first is the dreaming way, and like I said, I look for the thing, and then I'll go to the site and they will give me the number. Now let me see if I can show you that. All right, so here is the website, sellbackyourbook.com, and sell your books, buy or rent books. I have no idea how to utilize that portion. I've never utilized it, but you can rent probably decks if you're interested in that and return them. I'm not sure what their policies are on that. However, let's just do the dreaming way. Now, like I said, just find the ISBN number 978. Where's my keyboard? Be most helpful at this moment. Let's see. I'm a complete mess. I don't know about y'all, but I am like so ready for spring. 57281-758-6. All right, and then enter. And so for the dreaming way, $2.89. Not great. It could be very disheartening if you're going to stay attached to the amount of money that you spent on your decks. Then we have the goddess, gods, and guardians. Now, what I've learned through this process is U.S. games, very minimal amount of money to be returned. Llewellyn, same deal. Low Scarabeo, it has to be the big box or the hard box for any return on those. Any tuck boxes, it's very minimal, if anything at all, for Low Scarabeo. And what I've learned is that if you have Hay House or Liminal 11 decks, they have the largest return so far that I'm aware of. So let's do another one. You just scroll up and enter in 978-1-78817-651-4. Let's see. $3.92. Very disheartening. This is rather new. But it all adds up. The Gateway of Light. This is a Kyle Gray deck. Let's see, what is the number here? 978-1-78817-588-3. And let's see. So we get, well, oh, it didn't. $3.92 for the other one. Can we get this one correct? My goodness. 978-1, okay, dash 78817-588-3, enter. Okay, there we go. $4.93. So we're not quite $5, but these are cheaper mass market decks to begin with. I think these are like $20 decks. If I paid that at all, $19.99 is what this retails for. But if you go to Hay House and hit, a sale or whatever, and you spend a lot less money on the deck, then you're getting a pretty good return on some of these. Like this is listed as $29.99, but I spent $19.99 for the Grim Walk-ins tarot by MJ Cullinane, and let's just see what this comes out as. 978-4019-7069-7 enter. $6.98. So close to $7 on a return of a $20 deck, which that to me is a pretty good. That's pretty good. It's better than and with this site they take care of the shipping, so you don't have to find a buyer. You do not have to worry about the shipping, and that's the major thing these days, is shipping is so expensive, and by the time everything is said and done, you sell a mass market deck and you could be in the deficit. It's a lot of work for to get rid of something for $1 profit or negative. So I'm not sure. 978-1-4019-4025-6, enter. Oh, it'd be nice if I could get it right. 978-1-4019-4025-6. $3.76 for the Psychic Heart Tarot. The Akashic Tarot. Let's see, how much does this go for? 978-1-4019-5044-6. If you have eyes like mine, you understand this is like the worst part, trying to get the number in my vision. $5.31 for the Akashic Records. So there you have it, $51.25 for this box. Now, I've already done the work on these. That's the other time-consuming part, is putting them all in order. So all of these have already been gone through, and they're all in order, and that way I know I have all of the cards, right? Especially for tarot, you know how easy it is to lose a card, or in an oracle deck or whatever. So I put everything in order. Then I fill a box, and then I check the prices. But yeah, so that when you open the deck, there we go. So when you open the box, it's just like a new experience for whoever receives the deck. And my decks are beautiful. And many are very much brand new and hardly touched upon. There's far less that are like overused and not worthy to be donated or given or gifted to anyone or sold, let alone sold, than there are decks that, like, these are just like brand new. There's so many more of these that are just sitting around and not being utilized, and I never will utilize them, especially at this point, because there were ones like that where I was like, well, I'll just hold on this because maybe the time will come, and I will gravitate back toward these decks, which has happened in the past. It's happened more recently, but just for the physical nature of my hand, I can't, right? Like I can't, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense to hold on to these things. One, just because I have these things and I want to keep these things or whatever. It just doesn't make any sense to hold on to these things when I could, one, pay a bill, because this is just one small box of many, right? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 3 small boxes exactly like this that are filled, and then one bigger box that would equal 3 of these. So that would, that's just in this room. In the other room, I have 2 larger boxes, 1, 2, 3 larger boxes of decks that are all put together and ready to go. However, the boxes are too big for me to carry, so I'm going to break those down into smaller boxes and do it that way so that I can get them out of the house. And like I said, it's time consuming, so I take these out. Thankfully for me, this is easy. I throw this in my car. I can get these 4 out of here, and when I break down the other larger boxes, I get them all in my trunk and carry them into FedEx or whatnot. FedEx is literally like 3-4 minute drive from me. It's not far at all, so the drop off isn't bad. It's just getting the shipping labels, because I'm going box by box and whatever, however that goes, and then I print out the shipping label because it is what it is. My printer isn't like printing the whole address on the 4x6, excuse me, so I have to go out to Staples and just pay for a copy for a printed label, since mine is not. I'm afraid that if you can't see any, like, it's cutting off a portion of the names and the address. I tried to fix it, but I can't get it. Nothing I do seems to be working, so I'll just go out and go to Staples and purchase the shipping labels for all of these boxes. Be like $5 or whatnot, in shipping labels, but that's nothing in comparison, because like I said, this may only be $51.25, but when you multiply that times each small box, that's $200, and then you have the larger box, that's $350 just right here. And in the other room, there's more, and there's a lot more that I still have to, box up. But what I have boxed so far adds up to about $600 and some dollars, close to $700. It was $700, but there were a couple of decks that I had to remove because I went through them, and I was pulling them out or whatnot, and doing them, and I was missing a card, and then the other one was I had trimmed it, and then another one was I had edged it. So those decks you can't sell via, sell back your book either. However, for indie decks and other used decks that you just want to get rid of, AV Tarot Market on Etsy, they pay for the shipping and things as well, and they will give you a very minimal amount of funds for your used decks, but you can get up off of them quickly. And it's just disheartening when you see like $1 or $3, and it's like, why am I doing this? And you're doing it because, one, you got to get out from hundreds upon hundreds of decks that are never going to be utilized again, right? It's you can make space and room for more, or to less even, just making space, period. It's like, with book collectors or whatever you want to call yourself. I'm not a collector. I collected a lot, but I'm not a collector. I don't know the first thing about what a good quality, anything as it equates to a tarot deck. Like, what counts as far as that being a really, shot in the dark find that, I don't know. I have no idea. So I have a lot, but I'm not a collector. It's just a library of stuff that I found interesting at one point. A lot of just purchase, and then like pandemic, it was a package, at least a package a day. But let's be honest, there's multiple packages a day during the pandemic, and it all accumulates. So I brought these in one by one into my little hut, and they're going to leave in little boxes. The same way that I brought them in here, I'm going to get them out of here, and that's, by myself. I wanted to be like, man, I should just pack all of these up in these big boxes, right? And call my son and have him carry and lift and get these over to, FedEx for me. But then I'm like, you know what? Don't. like, I got myself into this. I can get myself out of this as far as how much I've brought in one by one. And, I can't, what bothers me is like having a lot and not seeing any of it. It's like, oh, I can't get rid of that, but no one can actually see it, view it, touch it, hold it, unless by some freak of nature you are called to go into that box or that area for some reason other than the purpose of finding that particular deck, and you find it, and then there's this affair with it for, a moment. And then it goes right back in the box because, there's something else that's new on your table, or that's coming, or that you have planned, or study, whatever the case may be. And it goes right back into nowhere land, where nobody gets to see it, nobody gets a reading from it, it's not being utilized, it's not being appreciated, it's not being loved upon, right? And I am like that person. I don't like closets and sheds and, rooms sometimes whole rooms and garages and things like that. That's where things go to die before you put them in their proper resting place. The trash. But it's like if the item is useful and somebody else can use it, like immediately take it to the dinks and dents and get out from under it. Because if I put something in a drawer or a shed or a closet, it just goes in there, until to die, right? Until 5 years down the line, I decide to ultimately throw it in the trash, or finally take it to the dinks and dents, or whatever, Salvation Army or Goodwill or whatever association, right, of donations. All right, have a wonderful day. Bye.